Record again. Okay, so welcome to some Wednesday Wellness. Sorry if everyone's on Facebook watching me restart this on numerous occasions. I'm having some issues. So yeah, lots of questions this week, and this week I'm going to be talking mainly about immunity because I was asked so much more about immune system. So here we go. Do you want to stay at home or do you want to get outside? This is the biggest problem at the moment is, in my opinion, is the way that the coronavirus has been handled, with a complete lack of understandings of how immune systems and viruses and viral epidemics and everything works with sunshine, etc., etc., etc. So that's going to play a little part of what I'm going to talk about. Basically, when it comes to immune system, the immunity and immune system is, there is so much more that we can all do than is just being touted by the government generally at the moment. Even the NHS website says you should be taking vitamin D throughout winter in supplemental form because most people just don't get enough. And there's no harm in taking just as little as 1,000 international units a day, and that will help. So what I'm going to go through today is some stuff that was really put together by, oh, why isn't this working? This guy here, Jack Wilson, who's a cardiologist, and this is part of his sort of 2-3 hour presentation on immunity mixed with some of my own stuff. And so just so you know, this is the basic outline of the webinar that I will be doing in the next week or two. It'll talk about 7 foods essential to immune health, which we'll cover in a minute. I'm going to talk about household poisons to remove as soon as possible, but not today. Simple strategies to help avoid the flu. 2 doctors critical for your health team. May talk about those next time. EMF in your immune system. There's all kinds of things, and I will cover some of the supplements as well. So here's the first thing, okay? There's something called the germ theory of disease. And it's basically still, in some ways, the germ theory of disease, because the germ theory basically states that if you infect someone with a bacteria or a virus, they will get that disease. But we know from years and years and years of looking at bacteria and viruses that many people have lots of bacteria and viruses in them, like E. coli and tuberculosis, but they don't have gastroenteritis, they don't have tuberculosis. And so there's also what's called the terrain theory, which is that the most important thing isn't actually necessarily the viruses and bacteria, but actually your own health and well-being. How clean are you? How sufficient are you in everything you need to be healthy? And in reality, it's a bit of both, because the more virus and bacteria that you're going to be exposed to, the healthier you have to be, and there's probably going to be a breaking point at some point, and some viruses and bacteria are just plain nasty. So the clean tank, I do talk a lot about detox, but I'm not going to be speaking too much about that today. But if you are really interested in cleaning yourself up as much as possible, then give me a call and we'll put you on a detox that's appropriate for you. But foods. If you have been watching me on Facebook, you will have known that a few weeks ago I put up this slide on Facebook, and get more seafood. Nearly everybody is deficient in omega-3 fats, and we need omega-3 fats to make every single cell in our body. We need omega-3 fats to make immune cells, brain cells, liver cells, heart cells. And the amount of omega-3 in your system is directly proportional to, well, how healthy you are. The more you have, pretty much the healthier you are, the less likely you are to get heart attacks and immune system problems and arthritis. And everybody that I have tested, including myself, was deficient in omega-3s. Everybody. And the biggest reason why isn't so much that we don't eat as much seafood, although that is a big problem, it's the fact that all the wild animals we used to eat, all the animals, all the food we used to eat was chock full of omega-3 fats. And now with the only place we get omega-3 fats from our diet is yes from some plants, but mostly from fish, and only if it's wild fish, not farmed fish. And so today's diet is there's just nowhere near enough. So I would suggest that if you like fish, that you try and get more wild fish in your diet, and small fish as well, like sardines and pilchards and anchovies as well, because they tend to be cleaner and less polluted, and you're going to eat the bones, so they're going to have lots more nutrients in there as well. So get more fish in your diet, because there's more than just the oils in there. Okay, although the oils alone, again, omega-3 fatty acids have a massive benefit to the immune system. Also, fish oils contain vitamin A. Fish contains vitamin A, which is critical for your immune system. So yeah, there's lots and lots of stuff. I mean, vitamin A actually helps treat measles, and in fact, the only children that sort of get side effects to measles are ones that are vitamin A deficient. So it's actually, you know, if you get enough vitamin A, then measles isn't a problem. And it's the same with a lot of other diseases. So yeah, vitamin A, very, very, very important. And so you can just get that from fish. You can get it from egg yolks, beef liver, butter, chicken liver, salmon. Basically, there's not a good plant source of retinol, which is the most important active form of vitamin A. So if you are a vegetarian, it may be good for you to seek out extra sources of vitamin A. Now, next thing, again, you've probably seen me post this a few times, beets. And I like the whole beet. I like the actual beet root itself, and I like the actual greens as well. And the main reason I like beets is they are loaded with nitrates, which help you produce something called nitric oxide, which we will get to a little bit later. But an added bonus, you can actually eat lots of fermented beets and general increased fermented foods as well, because fermented foods contain lots of bacteria that are good for you and help kill all the bad bacteria in your system, or keep them under control, I should say. Next food, lemons and limes. Lemons and limes, they're just a good source of natural vitamin C. They possibly have some other benefits in there as well. So squeeze the juice of one lemon or lime into some water every day. And that's a simple way to get some extra vitamin C. And lots of people already do this, but they don't realize just how good it is. And of course, it's great to add to your salads that you are having every day as well, like myself. Next, garlic. Now, garlic is great for social distancing. If other people aren't eating garlic, they won't want to come anywhere near you. But also, garlic has antiviral properties. It's also got great properties for blood pressure, especially if it's fermented as well. So you can actually buy fermented garlic pills. But again, garlic, it's great for flavoring. So there's no excuse not to use it in your cooking. And so if you are someone like me that likes strong flavors, you might want to try this salad dressing, extra virgin olive oil, lemon or apple cider vinegar, capers, adding different spices to your liking, anchovies, and black cumin seed as well. Black cumin seed, or get some black cumin seed oil, because that's got huge health properties as well. And this is an easy way to add a lot of immune boosting nutrients to your daily food. What's next? Curcumin, no, we're going to forget that as well. Eggs. Now, what I have done recently, after having an essential fatty acid test, okay, which is this one here, if you actually want to find out what your essential fatty acid ratios are. Now, I found out that I was having too much arachidonic acid, which is one of the things you do find in eggs. And I've actually swapped having as many eggs, and I'm having more sardines instead. But basically, eggs, most people aren't eating anywhere near enough. Eggs actually also decrease your chance of cardiovascular disease as well. That's the next slide. But they contain a lot of different nutrients that are essential for your immune system. They are not bad for your heart. And in fact, people who eat an egg a day have 18% less cardiovascular disease. So have an egg a day, or 7 a week, basically, is a good thing to do. Next up, mushrooms. Mushrooms come in all shapes and sizes, but even your ordinary button mushrooms have got immune benefits. Yes, they contain some vitamin D, but also they're a great source of what are called beta glucans, which I'll get to in a minute as well. And different mushrooms, oyster mushrooms, shiitake mushrooms, have different other immune properties, different levels of beta glucans in them as well. But just try and get more mushroom in it up. One thing that I really like to have is a mushroom and vegetable omelette for breakfast with lots of spices in. So, next thing, seeds. Seeds are a great source of many things. Again, flax seeds have omega oils in them as well, but they don't tend to be very stable. But seeds also contain zinc. And zinc, if you are following the alternative news about coronavirus, you'll know that a lot of people say that zinc is really helpful to take for various reasons. Yes, it's absolutely critical for your immune system. What else was I going to say? And yeah, people dying from coronavirus tend to have actually very, very low levels of zinc. So it would be a good idea to not have low levels because you'll probably decrease your chances of dying. And so yeah, zinc has a great effect on your immune system. It's actually been shown to help in fighting the flu. But here's an extra bonus. Now, while you find in seeds zinc, you find in just about every other plant you're going to eat something called quercetin or quercetin. And quercetin is often used to help with allergies. That's why it's in the supplement that we use called Aller-C. But one of the ways that quercetin helps your immune system is it actually helps you get zinc inside your cells where it's going to help fight viruses. So if you're not eating lots and lots and lots of plants, or if you've got some kind of problem, you're taking lots of zinc, but you're still getting ill, then maybe try taking quercetin as a supplement for a while, because it can help in some people bring down inflammation. It can help in some people bring down the allergic reactions, but it should be helping getting zinc inside your cells and giving you a little more help with your immune system. Now, the other thing that we find in, well, certainly nuts anyway, is selenium or selenium. Selenium is something that we find in varied amounts around the world, depending on the soil in which our food is grown. And selenium is being more and more and more depleted in all the civilized countries because our soil is so massively depleted. And selenium is vital to your immune system. You can read through these at your own speed and leisure, but basically it helps fight viruses. And one of the reasons, here's some places you find selenium because we're talking about foods: Brazil nuts, mushrooms, eggs, organs, seafood. But one of the reasons that selenium is so good, and sorry this slide is not finished, is because it helps you recycle something called glutathione. Isn't it essential for making glutathione as well, I think. And sorry, I'm speaking so fast. Glutathione is one of the most important molecules in your body. It's vital for your immune system to work, and it's vital for detoxification. And as you age, you tend to make less and less glutathione, and low levels of glutathione are related to pretty much every disease that you can name. So lower levels of glutathione are found in people with cancer, heart disease, diabetes, dementia, allergies, viral problems, immune system problems. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Glutathione is so vital for the way that our entire system works. And I had a good slide showing all the diseases that it's related to. But you need selenium, you need a few other things to make it work as well. So again, it's sort of in my recommended supplement list, but it is definitely. Now, I just want to move away from food and get to very quickly to sunshine. I was going to speak about this anyway, but today I just read another paper this morning, as I do, on how viruses like the flu and coronavirus come and go with sun. And so around the equator, where the sun's pretty constant, things like the flu and coronavirus are very low levels, but they don't tend to fluctuate throughout the year. Whereas in the north and south, so Australia and England, colds and flus go with summer and winter. They come with winter, go with summer. And an Italian study has really just shown that basically the reason that the pandemic went away in the first place wasn't to do with lockdown, it was due to the sun coming out, and it's now come back again because the sun's gone away. So personally, I'm not that hopeful that the lockdown is going to do anything, but maybe it will. Maybe it will. But yeah, it may be more to do with the sun. And the reason that the sun's so helpful is because it helps raise vitamin D3, among other things, but it has other effects on our system as well, which we don't realize. And so there you go. Flu happens in the winter. And yeah, another study has just been finished in Italy that just shows, you know, why the pandemic went away and why it's come back. Sunshine is critical. Sunshine, critical inactivation of influenza virus by solar radiation. And in the Spanish flu epidemic, pandemic of 1917, 18, 19, etc., there are lots of outside hospitals, and they would take the patients outside to get them better and get them in the sun, and that's so missing from today's hospitals. There is no outsideness. Everyone's inside all the time. Everyone's locked up, locked indoors. This is not good. We need to spend more time outside and at least take a vitamin D supplement, because that again is being so linked to coronavirus deaths, i.e. a lack of vitamin D. So go and get your vitamin D, at least take a small supplement, and get outside every day because your skin is a solar panel. And the other thing that happens with your sun, when you get sunshine rather, is that it also activates nitric oxide. Okay, so not only does sunshine help you get vitamin D, it also helps improve nitric oxide. And this is why just vitamin D supplements by themselves may not be the full answer. You also need to make sure you're getting enough nitric oxide. So you want to get plenty of beets. Again, nitric oxide is shown to inhibit the influenza virus. There's actually some studies on COVID as well, basically on how nitric oxide could potentially inactivate COVID-19. It's very important for controlling inflammation as well. It's important for blood pressure. It's important for controlling the immune system as well. So beets, etc. But the other way to get more nitric oxide is my favorite mushroom, which is called Ganoderma lucidum. And I'm sorry, I've got a slide missing here. You know what? I'm going to just write it in here. Ganoderma lucidum. There you go. Ganoderma lucidum. That is my favorite mushroom. It's got all kinds of health properties, and it's best infused in hot water. So I actually have it in my teas and coffees. If you'd like some tea and coffee and try some, just let me know. So that is in supplement form, because you don't actually want to have the mushroom by itself. And finally, while we're on the subject of mushrooms and beta-glucans, which are found in mushrooms, these are a couple of supplements where you find something called Wellmune. Now, Wellmune is something, I think it's made by Kerry Foods, but Wellmune is an extract of yeast, not mushroom, extract of yeast, beta-glucans, which have been shown to have great effects on your immune system, especially the Wellmune version. And so you can pick up different products, like one of the ones we use is called Immunoblast, and another one is Advanced Immune Support, and they both contain Wellmune beta-glucans. And Wellmune beta-glucans have been shown to help improve immune system, recovery from physical activity, general feelings of well-being as well. So at the moment, my general recommendations for staying healthy, you see, I lost all my slides temporarily and I was frantically putting them all back together again. So this is what I generally am recommending everyone has, okay, is eat a great diet, get outside, exercise, have a multivitamin mineral. So you've got a little bit of everything. You want to take some kind of omega-3 supplement. Okay, preferably fish oil made from small fish, but yes, if you're a vegetarian, there are vegetarian and vegan alternatives. May not be quite so good, but definitely worthwhile. A multivitamin mineral, omega-3, and then something with Wellmune in it, I think would be a good idea. Maybe some extra D3, up to 5,000 IU, maybe 5 times a week. You know, maybe a bit less depending on what's in your multivitamin mineral. But I don't think you need to take huge amounts unless you're sick. And then maybe some extra zinc, maybe, and maybe some things to help boost glutathione. Or you can take glutathione as a supplement. And I start every day with Ganoderma lucidum. So if you're not taking a multivitamin mineral, that's the first thing to take. Then add in an omega-3, and then maybe some extra D3, some Wellmune, maybe some extra zinc, something to help with glutathione levels as well. But really, it's good to actually consult someone and find out what you might need more specifically. But that's my general outline, as well as, of course, making sure that you think right and de-stress, because that has a huge impact on your immune system, making sure you're getting enough fluids, and making sure you get enough sleep as well. Sleep is absolutely critical for your immune system to function. Right. Now, there we go. That is enough for me, I think. Half an hour of blasting you with the immune system stuff. Okay, and so that's all I wanted to say today. I know there was quite a lot. I'm just going to see if there's any quick questions that have turned up on Facebook that I can see. No, I can see some stuff, but no questions at the moment. Okay, so that's it for today. I've got lots to do, and I will try and answer some. We'll get through to questions next week. And if you do want to know more about your immune system and the immune system, then I will actually be doing a larger, less hurried webinar. Oh, Jenny, if you have a yeast problem, can you take Wellmune? Yes. Most people can. In fact, most people don't even realize that most people with yeast problems can even actually tolerate things like Marmite, because lactic acid yeast tends to actually help lower the bad yeast. Oh, it's a different Jenny than I thought. Okay, hello Jenny. I'm seeing another Jenny later. Good to see you, Jenny. Yeah, most people can actually tolerate Wellmune. And most people can tolerate Marmite, even if they've got a yeast problem as well. In fact, sometimes Marmite actually helps clear up Candida and other fungal problems. So I hope that helps you. Okay. All right. Any other questions related to immunity today? No, we're okay. All right. I shall now stop Facebook. Stop live stream. So I am now stopping Facebook, and I am now stopping recording. So thank you very much for everyone, and I hope the replay is good for everyone.